in a move that has sent shockwaves through Washington and reverberated across international markets. A federal court has blocked most of President Donald Trump's sweeping tariff policy, accusing him of exceeding presidential authority. The ruling not only challenges the economic cornerstone of Trump's America First agenda, but also thrusts the administration into a high-stakes legal confrontation. With the decision undercutting a strategy Trump has fiercely defended as essential to national security and economic independence, the White House is preparing to escalate the battle all the way to the Supreme Court this Friday. The legal clash erupted after a federal judge ruled that President Trump's broad use of tariffs violated the limits of executive power. Specifically, the court found that the administration overreached its authority under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, IEEPA, a statute typically reserved for genuine national emergencies. While the Trump administration has used this legal framework to justify levying tariffs on nations such as China and Mexico, the court stated that the justification lacked merit and that such sweeping actions could not be undertaken without congressional approval. The ruling effectively invalidates key components of Trump's tariff regime, an economic weapon he has wielded against foreign competitors since taking office. Many of these tariffs targeted billions of dollars in goods, creating ripple effects on industries from manufacturing to agriculture. The court's intervention now casts a long shadow over the administration's signature trade strategy, setting the stage for a fierce legal and political contest. In response, the White House has vowed to appeal the ruling immediately. And if that fails, the administration has announced its intention to take the matter to the highest court in the land by week's end. The White House has not minced words in responding to what it sees as an unwarranted intrusion by the judiciary. Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt issued a fiery statement, calling the decision judicial overreach of the highest order. She insisted that the tariffs are not only legally sound, but also long overdue, framing the court's ruling as a dangerous precedent that could cripple future executive action. Leavitt's remarks revealed the administration's broader frustration with what it perceives as rogue judges interfering with national policy. According to the press secretary, these rulings threaten to undermine American authority on the global stage, especially as the United States grapples with complex economic and security challenges. She emphasized that the administration remains confident in its legal footing and intends to win this battle in court, a sentiment echoed by legal advisors who believe the president has the constitutional right to act in the national interest when facing economic threats. The implications of the court's decision stretch far beyond the Trump presidency. Legal scholars are already weighing in, noting that the ruling could set a landmark precedent on the limits of executive authority over economic policy. Central to the case is whether the president can act unilaterally in declaring economic emergencies and imposing penalties on foreign nations without congressional oversight. The Trump administration has argued that the judiciary should not have the power to second-guess the executive branch on matters of national security and economic stability. However, critics counter that unchecked presidential power poses a risk to democratic institutions and could lead to abuses of authority in the future. As the debate intensifies, political observers say this legal showdown could influence how future administrations interpret and implement trade policy, potentially curbing executive flexibility for decades to come. Internationally, the ruling has been met with both relief and concern. Countries directly affected by the Trump tariffs, including China, Canada, and Mexico, have closely monitored the U.S. legal proceedings. The court's decision touches on a broad range of tariffs, including those aimed at curbing imports related to the opioid fentanyl crisis, a point of particular tension between the U.S. and China. While some of the administration's tariffs remain intact, such as those on steel, aluminum, and certain automobile imports, others may now face rollback under the court's mandate. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney welcomed the decision, echoing long-held Canadian arguments that the tariffs were unjustified and harmful to North American trade relations. The ruling could also encourage other nations to challenge U.S. tariffs through diplomatic or legal means, potentially reshaping international trade norms. At the same time, American businesses impacted by the tariffs now face fresh uncertainty, as they wait to see how the legal appeals unfold and whether previously imposed trade penalties will be reversed. As the Trump administration plots its next legal steps, all eyes are on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit, where the administration is seeking an emergency stay of the ruling. If that effort fails, the case is expected to be fast-tracked to the Supreme Court, possibly setting the stage for one of the most consequential trade law cases in modern history. In parallel, administration officials are reportedly exploring alternative legal frameworks to reinstate their tariff policies, hinting at the use of other national security provisions or even new legislative proposals. The urgency of these efforts underscores just how pivotal tariffs have been to Trump's domestic and foreign policy doctrine. For now, the administration remains defiant, betting that a conservative majority Supreme Court may view the matter more favorably. This escalating legal drama leaves the nation and the world on edge. Will the highest court uphold the president's power to act unilaterally on trade, or will it reinforce judicial limits on executive overreach? What do you think? Should the U.S. president have the unchecked power to impose sweeping tariffs in the name of national security? Or should courts and Congress play a larger role in overseeing such decisions? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for the latest updates on global politics, U.S. leadership, and legal developments that shape our world. Tap the bell icon so you never miss a breaking story.